Hello to everyone on
Are we
Instagram.
here? Hello, hello.
How are we doing, peeps? Let's chuck this on.
We'll make sure that we're good.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're good. Are we
All
live?
good.
Are we here? Hello,
Yeah.
hello. It always feels so quiet in this room, talking to a screen. Being like, hey guys. And then there's like no silence, no feedback.
Nothing.
It's very
Nada.
strange. I really don't know how. I feel like it's going to take a long time to get used to that. How are we doing? I know we've got Brian and Jesse in the chat. Brian, thank you so much. Oh no, this is a new one.
You got to hold up the...
What?
Hold the thing a little bit up.
That just didn't work. Anyway, thank you so much, Brian. We appreciate you signing up to the membership. How are we all doing?
Good.
How are we doing on YouTube? We've got YouTube and Instagram today. We've got someone from Japan. We've got someone who wants to marry you. We've got someone from Uzbekistan. We've got
new?
variety today.
We do.
I love it. Let's go. YouTube is quiet. Come on.
What are we doing, peeps?
Where are all of you? I can see there's 24 of you watching now. 23. Someone left.
Oh,
Sorry.
They heard you and they're like, no, don't want to be told what to do.
I'm not going to be told what to do
No.
on my Friday afternoon or morning, depending on where you are in the world.
It feels quieter
Hello,
today.
Dawn. Hello, Jesse. How are we all doing?
Hello.
How are we feeling? The energy is higher today. Last week,
Oof.
I don't know, Mercury was in retrograde or something. I don't know.
Something was
I
off.
don't really follow that stuff,
Yeah.
but something was wrong because it was very
The estrogen
sleepy.
levels were somewhere.
Yeah,
We don't know where.
not here.
But not...
But they're back. We're alive.
We are in fact alive. Do we like my Hex Girls t-shirt? Big up if
Do
you
we like
get the
my
reference.
Bring Me the Horizon t-shirt?
My t-shirt's better than yours.
Your t-shirt is cool. Your t-shirt is better than mine. I will give you that.
Danny asked, what are we doing here, gals? That
What
is
are
a
we
great
doing?
question.
We're going to get existential. Well, we are supposed to be answering drum questions.
Preferably, yes.
But we are getting to a point now where I feel like we may have answered every drum question
Ever.
that there has ever been.
Yeah.
Albeit,
For
a
better
lot
or
of
worse.
the answers that she provides are I don't know, which is very unhelpful. I'm aware. I shout at her for you, don't worry.
It's not my fault. I'm allowed
Well,
to
it
not
is.
know
Your
everything.
job is to educate. You should know.
That's
What-
like telling a science teacher that they should know about
They should know the secrets of the universe, yes.
subject.
They should.
Or something. That
Yeah.
doesn't quite carry, does it?
Just Play says, my allergies are bad, but my energy is good. I just can't
Vibes.
see you guys. Oh,
You can't see
you
us.
just can't see us. I'm viewing it on YouTube
Does that
right
mean
now.
your allergies are so bad that you literally...
Oh, your eyes are
just
closed.
cannot
Yes.
see us?
Okay. No, that makes more sense. Rather than a technical
Swole
issue.
shut.
I'm very sorry to
Oh.
hear that. I hope that they go away.
Hello
swiftly.
from Morocco.
Oh my gosh.
Where else are we in the world?
We are Mrs.
today?
and Mrs. Worldwide over here. Jesus.
We need little bald caps.
Uzbekistan. Oh my god, we're all over.
Mm.
I didn't know we had such an audience in like the Middle East and Asia. This is amazing.
And the Philippines.
I know. There's a whole
go.
region of the world that I feel like we are neglecting. I'm so sorry.
Well,
The real question is, do we have any fans in Brazil?
I think we do.
We could. Do you imagine, right? If we could afford to tour and we did what Lady Gaga just did.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Lady Gaga.
But instead of doing an amazing show of, an incredible pop career history, we would just
I'm just teaching people to play
drum
drums
lessons.
in Brazil, which is just...
In Brazil.
No.
It would be a great party. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
watch
really.
me, English woman, come over and teach all the Brazilians who literally pioneered drumming how to play drums.
So Jesse on YouTube says, I've been trying a thing with my double pedal. I'm playing the straight 8 with my right foot on bass
Yep.
and the right hand on hi-hat,
Yep.
then switching to left foot on bass and right hand on the bell of the ride.
Okay.
Switching your
Yeah.
foot to the kick drum.
I'm
Why
guessing.
switch foot?
Wait.
Is my curiosity.
Oh, the right hand. So he's basically like doing bass drum with the hi-hat on the right foot, and the left foot carries on the 8th notes, and the right hand just moves over to the right cymbal. That's a good exercise.
Oh, as in so the
Yeah.
left foot isn't switching over to the kick
No.
pedal, it's carrying
No.
on the hi-hat.
No,
I
at least I don't
see.
think so.
Okay, cool. Jesse basically says, is that it's a bad idea, or is this good left leg training?
I don't see why it's bad.
Sounds good. Sounds cool that you're creating your own exercises.
Yeah.
That's very intuitive.
Keeps you engaged. This is what we like.
We have Craig says, thank you for watching that drum video a couple weeks ago. I did not get to hear your comments on it. Yes, because we got copywritten. We got a slap on the wrist by Mr. YouTube, and it was very sad.
Fortunately, that was all it was.
That could have been a lot worse. What were your thoughts? Good drummer.
Very good.
Very good drums. Oh my gosh, that's a whole lot of drums.
That was a lot of
my
drums.
comments as a complete noob drummer and more of a vocalist was just big drum kit. I felt like that's just. Would you not? My question was: is it not more efficient to just keep everything you need onto one kit? But I understand if you want to switch sounds and.
Well, it's basically this is Neil Pertwood.
I think there was a bit where he stayed in place, or he twisted, and then the whole thing twisted back.
Oh,
to
the whole thing
stage.
was on a platform as well that is spun after a while.
I do love the staging. When you get into budget, right, when you're in a band, artist project, and you've got budget, you can do such cool things. I was literally saying to Ryan earlier, I wish one day in my dreams we become, big artist budget. Not because I want fame and fortune and lots of money.
That
for
helps.
security reasons, that would be nice. But, I just want to make really cool music videos. I want to do really cool staging. Because you see stuff like Sabrina Carpenter in the 1975 and Rammstein and all of this stuff that just looks insane. And I really want to do stuff like that. But you need money to do it.
Yes.
So I want to be able to put you on a big old platform with lots of pyrotechnics and have you spinning around and doing cartwheels and all of that jazz.
As if I'm not animated enough, as it is.
Justin Wright is from the southern tip of Africa.
Don't make me say it.
Fair enough.
Don't make me say it.
What do you mean?
South Africa.
South Africa.
I can't not
well, no,
say
it's
it.
North Africa. He's
The southern tip of Africa.
I didn't read. I read the words, but the information didn't go in.
Evidently.
That makes sense. There we go. Smoky Mountains of East, I'm assuming Tennessee?
Yeah, probably.
Just outside Rocky Top.
Damn.
Craig is in Akron, Ohio, USA. Very, very nice. Let's see what people are saying on Instagram.
Yes.
Tommy Lee on the video Wild Side.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Tommy Lee, drummer for Motley Crue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
He is. I think he was the guy who first got strapped into, like, have you ever seen the video where it's on actually like a upside down spinny thing? That. I think that was him.
This makes me think of ages ago, and this is when, I would say 2 years ago, when I first started working with Emma and the Love to Learn Drums team. We were reached out to by a gentleman who does. He did a video with someone where they basically played an instrument whilst skydiving,
Paragliding.
That was
Very
it,
different. Very different.
Paragliding.
Things. Skydiving, I would say no to. Paragliding,
and we were
I
going
might.
to try and do this shoot where Emma basically played drums whilst paragliding, but we just didn't really have the resources or the means to pull it off. But we'd love to try and still do that. We tried to reach back out to him, and he's not responded sadly. But we would love to actually try and do that. But I'd love to do some crazy stuff like that.
I think it'd be interesting to do upside down solos and see what happens with the blood flow. And see how that messes you up, if it does at all.
I feel like it's probably not.
I'd be kind of curious.
Yeah, it's probably going to mess with you a little bit.
Yeah, you'd just get dizzy, wouldn't you, really?
But yes, it seems like we don't have as many. I feel like the questions in general. Hello, Donna.
Hello, Donna.
The Queen. We love you, Donna. I feel like the questions in general are starting to dwindle because I'm noticing there's more green names in our YouTube chat than there is white names, which means all of you lovely, gorgeous people are members, which is amazing, but it does mean that I think we've answered all of your questions in previous live streams.
I now have a question because on Monday... Are we allowed to tell people where
Yes, I was about to say this exact thing. I have been told to ask you, lovely people, questions. We're flipping it on its head. It's a Q&A, but not for us.
You now.
We are heading to Berlin on Monday. We have a 6 a.m. flight. It's going to be disgusting. It's going to be so early. I'm not an early bird. I get up at midday every day. And we're going to be filming with the lovely Sound Service team in Berlin because they are sponsoring our podcast.
Yes,
that you may have seen some episodes. Zoom sponsors our podcast by basically letting us, record it at their wonderful studio with all of their amazing equipment. And we need some topics. We're basically going for like 5 days to just film podcasts straight.
And a lot of videos.
And a whole bunch of videos. Yeah. So if you have wanted a video on something, or a podcast episode discussing a certain topic, now is your time.
I was
suggest
say,
ideas.
What videos do you want in terms of shorts?
Emma is tired of teaching everyone how to place plans.
I've just written out a list of about 100 videos that I'm going to try and film, and we're trying to go for more like 150 while I'm there. So what topics would you like to know about? Yeah, dance monkey.
She's not allowed to leave until she's filmed a certain number of videos. Yeah. She has to live in Berlin forever, which is actually not that bad because Berlin's actually really quite nice. Really nice. But yes.
Not that we're going to see any of Berlin because we're going to be stuck inside Sound Service headquarters filming podcasts.
That's true. Jesse says, this week's ebook is for Cowbell Grooves. It was the 6 Cowbell Grooves ebook. And that was very good because we had someone reply to the ebook saying, this is perfect because I've just been gifted a cowbell for my birthday. And I was like, what can I say?
Dreamy.
Your mind. Jesse says, this week's ebook's on the Cowbell Grooves, but my e-kit has no cowbell. Could I replace it with the ride bell for practicing?
Yes, you can. Question. And you should. Well, potentially. It depends what e-kit you've got. But they usually come with...
You'll probably be able to program one of your cymbals to trigger
or
as a
rim.
Cowbell
it depends on your drum kit, but you might be able to program one of them because usually it comes with a percussion kit as well. Like if you're trying to do that side of things, so you should be able to just reprogram and reassign what that pad means on that drum kit. Just look it up the tutorial of how to do that for your specific kit.
So you should be able to
usually is one somewhere.
That's probably a good replacement. But yes, do you have a podcast? Yes. Well, if you go on our YouTube channel, it's currently only on our YouTube channel because we don't have Spotify money, sadly. But yes, it's called. What's it actually called?
Missing a Beat.
It has changed name a couple times, so I sometimes forget. But yes, it's called Missing a Beat, and it's Emma and Chris, occasionally me, sometimes, but I don't have that much to contribute to the conversation. I'm just a sounding board, really. And it's on our YouTube channel. You can watch all the episodes. I think we've just finished posting all the episodes that we've filmed so far. So we're gonna film a whole bunch more.
Hopefully this time with a bit more consistent camera.
Yes, we've got some new cameras.
Yeah, now that we have a better system for it, hopefully it's gonna be
better,
a bit cleaner. Just play. Is that what green means? No wonder my name is Grey. Yes, if you are a member, your name will be green.
Your name will
almost
be green
everyone is.
Almost everyone. We're a little community,
which is great.
Now. I love it.
We don't need the members only live stream because
we'll just do it like this.
They're already here.
It will. So actually, we've been thinking, because it's very hard to find a specific time where people from all over the world will be able to tune in at a time that is convenient for them. We're thinking of doing a Giga live stream day. I wish I had a soundboard to make myself
Giga live
stream day. I wish you could turn on a reverb for that. Basically, we're thinking of doing a day, probably on a weekend, because it's... Sorry.
Someone's at our front door.
I'm getting a notification that someone's ringing my doorbell on my phone. We're thinking of doing a Giga live stream day, probably on a weekend, because it'll be the most convenient for everyone. And we'll do 3 time slots, basically. So we'll do a live stream in the morning for us, but that should be a more reasonable time for people in like Australia. Because at the moment I know it's like 3 a.m, so sorry.
Yes, commitment to
and then we'll do one at this time, because then this is like afternoon time for the UK and lunchtime for the US, and then we'll do one later, which is the evening for like the US and that side of the world. So hopefully we will be able to meet some more lovely people. Because I think this might be it. I think there is only 30 people who are available at this time on a Friday, and we want to share the love. So we've got some messages in the chat. Jesse says, a topic that's personal to me, drums as physical therapy. I think that's a great topic idea. I've mentioned in a previous live stream about the gentleman who reached out to us about Parkinson's, that's the one. I would be tempted to contact him again and get a little mini interview with him to insert into that podcast episode that we could do, because We've been meaning to get him on a podcast for ages, but we just haven't really
There's
been able
this,
to make time for
I
it.
keep forgetting his name, but there's this really cool guy who is very knowledgeable about kind of the physical side of drumming and making sure that everything is ergonomically perfect and stuff like that. I think he's just done a video with Drumeo. Don't know when that's going to come out though. But I've wanted to chat to him for ages because I could just all the answers in one go would be great.
And it is in a really interesting topic, and it comes in relevant to us a lot because most of our students are more of an older age range, and we get a lot of people who assume that because they're older or they're starting drums later in life, because they didn't start when they were 6, they're doomed and they can never play drums. And it's actually just so far from the truth. We have people who have never played drums before and then started playing drums and having lessons with us, and the amount of progress that they make in like a month, and it really affects your physical. It's really important to keep your brain and your physical body exercised and in check. Sorry, I just kicked the desk and it made everything fly. And I feel like drums is such a perfect marriage of the two to achieve.
Yeah, and
so
I mean, there's people.
It's a great topic.
We've had students as well with pre-existing conditions like elbow injuries or like tennis elbow or like stuff like that. And obviously, we're not doctors, so it would be really cool to be able to talk.
We cannot offer medical advice.
No. But drums is usually pretty good for that kind of stuff as long as you're not straining yourself and as long as your technique is good. If you've given yourself an injury through drumming, it's probably because your technique is off, in which case it might be worth you booking in for a coaching call, to be honest. That might be the one. Yeah, when they are available, you can join the the waiting list. In the meantime.
Donna says, I struggle to understand dotted eighth notes and how they apply to hitting a drum. Thankfully, you've asked.
I think I've had this question before.
Whiteboard question, Donna, and for that, I love you even more than I already did. Yay.
So, basically, I always struggled with dotted notes as well, and I still do, because most of drum notation, you don't have to worry about it too much. So, like, the main thing you got to know is that a dot, let's say we're doing a crotchet or a quarter note, and we put a dot on it. The dot means we're adding, basically, half this note, the note that's in front of it, half of that value is being added onto it. Are you following?
Yes.
So.
You're stupid. Are you following?
Yeah. Dummy over here. So this basically means it's this plus an eighth note. Right? That's what that means. In simple terms.
It's just a short form way of writing that.
I find this tricky as well when I'm reading sheet music, because I just give it to me straight, like they do in a lot of modern drum notation. You actually don't see a lot of dotted notes really anymore, unless you're looking at, I don't know, snare studies or jazz sheets or stuff like that, where a non-drummer musician has often written the notation and gone.
They're just working with the notation knowledge that they have.
What they've got. So, Donna, do you have any more specific question about that? Because it is tricky. That's the main thing. It's tricky to read, especially if you aren't, au fait with...
I remember having this question when Emma was teaching me drums, because I remember saying, I don't understand why drum notation bothers... It was like basically indications for staccato and legato and stuff, and I was like, it's a drum.
Well,
I can't control the attack. That's it. It's one hit.
You don't.
I can't hold that out. But I
often see it. Like, you don't see staccato for drums normally.
Kind of just goes without saying.
Unless they're being like really finicky about it, and it's like an orchestral piece where they're like, it's a percussion specific thing they're going for. By the way, everyone on Instagram, if you want this not mirrored, come over to YouTube.
Oh yes, I would recommend coming over to YouTube. We can also read your questions a lot easier if you come over to YouTube.
Yeah.
If you just go on our YouTube channel, it should come up that we're live streaming.
But yes, I don't know if that helps you at all, Donna. It's something you probably already know, to be perfectly honest.
Right. Oh, hold on.
Put that down for a minute.
We're going to time that for 1 second.
What we need to do actually is come to YouTube.
Come to YouTube on a big board on behind us, Right. Oh gosh. Right. Justin says, can you recommend some kind of software or method to limit the volume output of electronic drums so I don't risk ear damage when practicing with headphones? I don't know if there's a specific software. I guess you just have to gain stage it.
You don't need software.
Yeah.
I'd say the main thing you want is just to make sure. Well, I mean, if it's your drum kit, then you can set the level and leave it, and it should be fine. But if you're nervous about it, just start off as quiet as you can get away with.
Just work
basically,
it up to,
you want it just about loud enough that you can't hear the pads to a point where you're like, you can deal with it. Loud. It will. The thing you've got to be cautious of is turning it up and up and up and up, because your ears adjust to the volume, and then you're like, oh, this sounds quiet now. I'm going to turn it up more and more and more. Yeah. It's really dangerous, especially with monitor mixes when you're doing live stuff, because it's so easy to just, tweak it up every so often. And
that video that you just posted of going like into the microphone, and it was straight into your ears, and you're like, oh, yeah. Why did I do that?
Well, actually, I did a singing gig, and for 15 years I've been playing drums, and I hate to think how many years. It's about 15. It's 16 maybe. But
no, because I
started lessons when I was 9, so I class that as actually maybe 17 years then. Wild. Anyway, so I had my in-ear monitors in, and I was doing a singing gig, not a drumming gig, and that's the gig that gave me tinnitus. I can't bloody believe it. Yeah. But it was just the guitar tone and the monitor mix was bad, so the guitar was really loud compared to everything else, so I couldn't hear me, so I had to turn it up and have the guitar really loud, and obviously guitar is really piercing, and dangerous high frequency. So the main thing you want to do, just as a side note, for protecting your hearing is, if you have an option, and if you know what I'm talking about, take out as much high frequency as you can cope with. So basically you're trying to muffle almost the sound. It's like the dangerous frequencies, the ones that a tambourine has, right? The really like, oh, whoa, that's like, those are the ones that are actually going to damage your hearing the most.
Rather than like, the kick or whatever. So, Jessie says, I'll check. It has 17 pre-built kits, but one might have a cowbell built in. I haven't explored the kits much yet. I'd be surprised if there wasn't one.
They usually do.
There's always a weird one. I remember when I was practicing on the kit when you were teaching me, and there was like... you go through the sample library far enough, and you start getting to the weird disco pad sounds where like you hit a drum kit and it goes it's like not actually even drums anymore, it's like key samples and like all
you
of
get the
stuff.
Percussion kit usually as well in there somewhere,
because otherwise the point of the e-kit is the bus.
It depends on what e-kit it is as well. I don't know about other brands.
Eric says, hey, I just got back to drumming after 4 years of drumming. Where do I start? Learn rudiments? What would you suggest? I guess it depends on how much you remember.
Yeah, honestly.
How much is left in your noggin? I mean, there's probably a lot more than you think that there will be. But...
maybe just starting off where you left off, if you remember where. Yeah. Play to songs you knew you could play, if you could already play songs.
Yeah. Get a gauge of where you're at.
Yeah. And also you get to ask yourself, okay... what do I actually want to get better at? Yeah. It's kind of a clean slate. Rudiments aren't a necessity. I always compare them to seasoning. If you like seasoning in your food, a bit of flavour, that's what you want. If you want flavouring in your drums.
I feel like when you've had a really long break from an instrument, it's best to just kind of... It's like playing a game, right? If you haven't played a game for a long time... you're going to want to, whilst you remember the game and you remember the mechanics a bit, you kind of need to refresh yourself with the tutorial to make sure you know what's going on. Kind of a similar principle where it's worth going over the basics, making sure you've still got that foundation, patching up any areas that have gone missing in the time you were gone, and then going from there.
Well, what will be interesting is if you pick up drums again.
Yes,
and seeing what you missed.
It'll have been a year.
I keep seeing kind of gym-related stuff. Oh, hello.
Oh,
have we crashed? Please say we haven't crashed.
No.
What a frame.
Why has we've frozen on the worst frame we possibly could have frozen on YouTube? That's deeply upsetting. Stop and start.
I don't. That stops the stream altogether, doesn't it?
I don't think so.
YouTube, let us know if you can still hear us.
Yes. We seem to have frozen.
In the least flattering way.
And you hear us.
It's a bit weird.
Gotta Oh, they can hear us. Okay, cool.
Hang on, let me just try something here then.
The webcam has
Let's see what happens. Please come back. Please.
Please.
Pretty please. I don't want that. I want that.
We're not sure what's happening. We're coming back. We're bringing back the visuals, but we're here audibly.
Yes, in spirit. Good God,
I don't
please.
know why we seem to get so many technical issues when we do streams.
I don't know.
Seems to dislike us. You might have to refresh OBS and just... I know. Just stop OBS. Just stop streaming and start again, I reckon. Well, we're going to be back. Hold on. We'll be back. The quality has distinctly reduced.
720p.
Oh,
yeah.
As well. Is there not anything we can... Oh gosh. Okay, hold on.
Oh God.
There we go. We're gonna have to cope
with that.
Right.
Now, let me just.
Okay.
That's streaming, but is it just stopped? There we go.
Oh, okay. You've seen us.
Okay.
I think we're back.
Good God.
Let me refresh the page to see what's happening. I don't know why we keep having these problems. I'm so sorry,
It's always
everyone.
something. This is the old webcam. We'll see what's happened with my new
I
one.
don't know why
It's
we're
melted.
having these problems, but yes, sorry everyone. I really appreciate that all 37 of you have stayed on YouTube.
Do we have 37 members?
No, 37, 42 people watching, okay.
Look at us go.
Thank you, I'm so sorry. This is the content we want.
Yes.
I'm so
This
sorry.
is what you're all signed up for.
We genuinely put so much effort into trying to troubleshoot and make
What
sure
could go wrong?
that these things won't happen. And
Yeah.
then they just still go
do.
wrong. It still happens. So now we look incredibly pale. Paler than I already look
So pale.
on an
Good
everyday
God.
basis. But there
Do you
you
know?
go. Oh my gosh! Roger, thank you so much! Hold on.
He's upgraded.
He has upgraded. Oh, it worked! Thank you so much! Oh my gosh. This means our editor Bex is going to need to add another name along with Donna's onto our videos. Thank you so much. All right, let's catch up with all of the messages that we missed.
What were we talking about before that happened? It was something deep and meaningful.
Honestly, who knows? It's out my brain now.
Oh, what was happening?
Right, let's go. I'm so sorry, everyone. Thank you for standing by.
Yeah.
We appreciate you
Yeah.
greatly. Right.
That's dedication, that is.
We're talking about protecting your ears, I think we were talking about.
Yes.
And the pre-built kits
Yeah.
with the cowbells.
Yep.
And okay, right. Sebastian. Oh, I love the name Sebastian.
Great stuff.
Such a
Seb.
good name.
What a lad.
Sebastian LaRoche. Oh, you could be a fashion designer. That is what
Little
that
do
name
we
is
know.
giving. That is a stage name.
Please
right?
tell me you are the antithesis.
You honestly, you're
of that.
obligated to get famous now because that is
That's
just too
just
good
a
of a
cool
name
name.
to waste. Right. Hi. Do you guys? This is where they've written a really mean comment now.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys think that it's better to only have one pair of sticks or different depending on the style of music that you play? A great question, Sebastian. Thank you very much. We discussed this in a Q&A that we filmed ages ago.
You mean
and then we never posted
yesterday?
it for some reason. We're very short on editors, so if you can edit videos, hit us up. Please.
Listen, I have at this point hired some family members.
We're
Partner.
begging and pleading at this
We
point.
are literally like...
But yes, and there's a whole section where I ask Emma about this because
Yes.
I'm like, what's the difference between all these different types of drumsticks? It doesn't necessarily go into the different sizes, but it goes into the different types of sticks. There were some shorts that we posted of Emma showing me the different types of sticks and the hate
Essentially.
that she holds in her heart for
Essentially...
hot rods.
Oh, God. Why do you have to say... I feel sick.
Oh my gosh.
Hate hot rods.
But yes.
But essentially... 5As will cover you for almost every single thing you need, especially as a beginner. If you're going for something lighter, you want to sound lighter, you want a subtler feel to your sticks. If you're doing jazzier stuff, maybe use 7As. And all that is that they're slightly thinner, slightly lighter. 5Bs are good for slightly heavier, rockier stuff. It has a bit more durability just because they're thicker, so when you're hitting rim shots and stuff, they just take longer to break, essentially. So yeah, those are kind of like the three I'd be thinking about, if at all. And obviously, if you want options, you want brushes and mallets and hot rods.
She's allergic, guys. Don't mind
rods.
Hot rods. Just Play says, I apologise if I don't have any questions every time I'm here. I just enjoy your company.
It's
That's
okay.
Okay. We love having you here.
Yes, thank you for being
here. That's fine.
here.
Thank you for
Appreciate
contributing.
you.
We love and appreciate you. It's 9:17 a.m. in California. I appreciate your commitment.
Thank you for getting
I'm never up at that time.
No.
So honestly,
I can attest.
that just demonstrates
That
your
does
love
not
and commitment
happen.
to us. Mwah, thank you.
Which is all the more reason why you getting up for a 6 a.m. flight is beyond me.
Yeah.
All of this in the name
True
of saving
commitment.
money.
Yeah, I know.
Good
it
Lord.
saved us so much money on the flights. It's ridiculous. Roger says, topic ideas. It is Roger, isn't it?
Yep.
With Fat Travelling Dog.
Yes. Yes.
I'm having a real issue with setting the snare wires. Would this be something that you would cover?
Ooh.
I don't know if not as a podcast episode, but we could do a video on it. I don't see why not. What do you know about snare wires?
I mean, I know how to put them on. It shouldn't be too complicated.
I think it's
really.
more the different ways that you can set it up. And the different options for different sounds.
I mean,
that's more of a producer question, I would actually
I
ask you.
suppose
As
so.
an engineer question.
Depends on preference.
Or
What you
drum
might
and-
be getting, Roger, is that your snare is just ringing a lot. So maybe look into dampening and muffling, because that is often the kind of, if you hit the drum and it just keeps going and you're like, why? Then it might be a fact that it's just resonating for too long. But with the snare wire, if you've got an old one / one that is starting to look a bit like how would you describe it? Lumpy, I guess, because one spring's been pulled, or it's all just slightly all over the place. That affects the sound in a major way. It sounds proper naff. Technical term, proper naff. So there's a couple other things, like a couple of things that do that, but just make sure it's tightened to a degree that you like, really. After that point, it's personal preference. So tell us if you're putting it on yourself. If you're replacing the snare wire, that's slightly different. But other than that, if you're doing that, then just make sure you don't tighten it too much before you actually switch the snare on, because you could then snap the wires again.
I love that my job in these live streams is just sit here pretending I know what she's talking about. I never do. This is my pretending to know what's happening face. Jessie says, I'm finding it easier to take even steps and have my legs work together since starting drums. It's still early, but it really feels like it's working to speed up my recovery. That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. That's awesome. Donna says, I understand with a voice, so hold the note, but can't stretch out the length of a hit. Well, this was exactly my point. Yeah. I'm with you, Donna. Mm-hmm. This was my confusion when I saw this in drum notation. Mm-hmm. I was like, what is the purpose of putting that in notation for drums? Because you have full control over that.
When was
I don't remember. I think
because
it was.
You don't really get it. The only thing you can stop is a cymbal. Yeah, because that's the only sustain.
That makes sense to me, because you can control the sustainedness of that. But otherwise, it doesn't.
You can, like, if you put your hand on the snare drum and hit it, you'll get a shorter sound, because drums do resonate.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't translate 100% to drum notation. No. Yeah. Just Play says, nope, I'm not old. Fair enough. Jessie says, as a guitarist, I've seen the dotted notation in time settings of delay pedals and other types of echoes or cannons.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I mean, it just depends on the instrument and what you're working with, and that will impact really how you interpret that instruction, I guess, wouldn't it? Joe G says, hello!
Hello!
I'm guessing that was from us returning.
Yeah.
We're still catching up.
We're so far behind.
Sorry. What a nice surprise to find you live, says NP. We've been trying to go live every week, so, I don't know if we're going to be able to go live next week. We will try.
I think we'll try.
But the internet where we're filming our podcast is a little bit dodgy, unfortunately, so I don't... Unless you want an incredibly crunch-o'clock live stream like we did a few weeks ago.
Yeah, which my dad complained about so much.
She got showered at, so I don't know if it's worth it. Michael Elliott says, what is the best approach to the swivel technique on double bass? I don't know what the swivel technique is.
The two techniques that I don't use.
You guys have a real knack for asking questions that she cannot answer.
Yeah. I don't use are you plugged into
no,
the charger?
my laptop is not plugged in. No.
You're on 29%, we're fine. I personally don't use swivel technique. However, if you book yourself in for a coaching call with Chris,
he'll probably be able to help you.
Does. Or he uses slide technique, I'm not actually sure.
There should be a link to that in the description of the video you're watching on YouTube.
Yes.
Below. Our coaching calls aren't technically open right now, but you can join the waiting list, and then when we are like, cool, we actually have a day to call people, then you will be contacted. We will probably open the coaching calls for a short amount of time at some point soon, but we're not going to have them perpetually open like we did previously, because it was a lot. So we're just going to be like, cool, a couple of days we're going to be open, and then so you have a chance to book in, and then if you miss it, you miss it. Donna says, as long as we agree dotted notes are silly, I'm happy.
Amen.
Amen, sister.
Amen.
They are silly biddies.
Amen.
eDogger3 says, should I say for an acoustic kit or an E-kit, I plan on moving out of the house in like 2 years. Will you be moving into a property where you can make lots of noise or not?
Yes.
Is my first
question.
question.
That is the big question. Also, if it's 2 years away, just get an E-kit and then sell it.
Yeah, you could do that, actually.
If you want to do that.
You could do that.
Didn't
even think of that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Get it second hand, sell it third hand.
Craig R says, one day randomly in my feed in YouTube, because I watch a lot of drum videos, was Emma in a short. I've seen you play on acoustic sets and on electric sets, just wondering which one you like better.
I am a true drummer. Acoustic.
I think that makes sense.
But it depends on the acoustic.
It depends on the situation.
If we're talking about cruddy drum kit from secondary school that's acoustic, no.
There are some really nice electric kits. Yes. And there are some really not nice acoustic kits.
There are also some really not nice electric kits.
And there's also, exactly. So it all goes.
It really depends. But I've got to a point in my playing where the subtlety you get with an electric drum kit is something I think I just need. It's a different experience, really. I mean, my Roland TD30 lasted me for 10 years and I was happy using that. So it's just dependent on where you are.
She just wants to hit things and make pretty noises.
Yes.
Let's see. Jessie says, my E-kit has a 12-inch E-drum amp that gets very loud and very bassy. It sits directly in front of the kit while I play, and I have to keep it at half volume or I'll definitely hurt myself. Yeah, just try and keep things quiet. Also, try and make sure that you're gain staging so you haven't got things that like full whack, and then you've got to make things really quiet later on in the chain. Try and keep everything balanced so that you have a bit more control across the board.
If it's an amp, you should have control over bass and treble. Yeah, in a lot of cases.
So you might need to adjust the EQ.
Dial down the bass. Big time.
Justin says, can you recommend some tips for filming yourself drumming to help grow a channel or get feedback?
Batch record.
Straight in there.
Film in batches.
I was about to be like, that's a really good question. She
no,
didn't want to let me in the charts.
Oh my god, I cannot express to you.
Don't try and film a video a day. Just dedicate a day to film several.
Saying that, it depends what you're doing, because it's if you can film it and then you just have to, just post it straight out. There's no editing, there's no nothing, which is unlikely in this day and age. Then sure, film every single day. But for me, believe it or not, even though it's my job, I find the recording process unbelievably aggravating. And so
you just need someone there to help. I think you just need the extra pair of hands.
Yeah,
because you're trying to concentrate on drumming and the camera at the same time.
Yes, that is the problem. But that is the problem that almost everyone will have if they're trying to do it themselves. So batch record. Once you've got everything set up, get as much done as you can, or try and make sure you have a setup that you can just leave.
Yes.
And just
it also depends on what kind of content that you want to make. If you want to do educational content like us, there's stuff that you need to consider, like framing, of leaving enough space to do notation and any notes and imagery that you need to add into the video.
What are we saying? You're not allowed to do what we're doing. We got here first.
Post every day. Every single day. All the days.
Every day.
Once a day, every day. The internet, unfortunately, is a quantity and quality game. So you have to meet the social media overlords and their demands.
Their demands.
Dawn Kimlinger says, I started drum lessons at 53 years old about a year or so ago. My mother died of Alzheimer's, as did her sister. Aww. I too believe learning drums is useful for keeping the brain active. Yeah,
Amen.
I'm very sorry to hear about that. But 100%. I think it's probably one of the best things that you can do in keeping...
Almost hands down.
You know, the difference that it will make, especially when you're reaching ages like 80, 90, right? It sounds silly, but the difference between someone who has prioritized their mental and physical health to someone who, I mean, obviously not everyone is lucky, but I mean, there will be a massive difference, and you'll probably find that you are coherent for a lot longer.
You can simplify it actually to, you know, if you look at older people in your life or in the world generally, when you see what lifestyle they have and you see, are they social, are they active with their brain, are they engaging with new things, that's generally the thing that keeps people going. Like a lot of people just tank up to retirement because they've stopped completely.
Stopped
and they don't do
giving
anything.
Themselves stimulation. And
so drums is double that, if not more, because I haven't seen the specific studies, but I know that a lot of people have sung the praises of learning an instrument actually in general. For your long-term mental well-being. It's very, very good. Yeah.
Also, I don't know if it's a scientific fact, but being a drummer just automatically makes you sexier, just as a person.
You know what? That's why I started. That's the
just
only reason
automatically.
I do it.
There's a reason that drummers are my type. You know, it just automatically makes you a more.
She's dating a drummer, just so we can clarify. And the drummer is not me.
Just to clarify. Sadly, she won't have me. Oh, bless. I don't even have to try and get people to sign up to our YouTube membership because Jesse in the chat is absolutely clocked in to his job promoting us.
Shift.
For no money per hour.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Jesse. Subscribe, becoming a member too. It's very affordable and 100% worth it. Thank you so much. That's a testimonial right there. Yes, if you are interested in supporting us, you know, we have plenty of paid services. If you actually, you know, if you want to get lessons and you want to get support with your drumming and you want to make some real progress, we have services in place for that you can contact us about. But if you just really enjoy our content and you want to support what we do, in, you know, just in a little way, and get some extra perks on YouTube, like early access to videos, member-only live streams, discounted merch, which, by the way, we're going to be doing some new merch very soon.
Woo!
Very soon. So that's very exciting.
I'm just trying to upgrade the quality.
Give the lighting a little bit better.
And we're still grainy.
We're still a bit grainy, but
I'm just sharp.
It's a little bit less dark.
We're so sharp.
I know. Yes, if you want to join our YouTube live stream, membership. The link is down below.
Yeah, and if you want us to,
and if you become a member, if there's any reason to do it, this happens when you become a member. Emma knocks the camera and...
Listen, this is a very precarious setup.
We've got cables trailing everywhere.
There's so many. Ooh. If you weren't here while we had our camera mishap, my other webcam stopped working,
the more
which is
people
why
who
we're
sign
filming
up
this on a potato.
To our YouTube membership, the more we can afford a webcam that doesn't crash mid-stream.
Yep.
So that would be great. Right. The dark side of drumming, by the way, Donna, had me properly giggling. I don't know if you actually saw that when we had to stop the stream and come back. Oh, hold on. Let me just...
Wait, we got back to where...
Okay, no, I think we're somewhat catching up. Right. Luis Maina says, hello ladies, greetings from South America, Ecuador. Ooh. I am 50 years old and with your very good tutorials, I've improved a lot in learning. That's amazing. Yes. I'm very glad to hear that. Thank you so much.
Good news.
Rubik Mania says, wow, I've never seen you live. We've been doing it every week, love.
For the last...
I mean, it's been only a couple of months, but we're trying to make it a regular thing. We're going to try and start doing more live streams. Something else we also want to do is Chris, our lovely founder, wants to start doing 10-minute daily workouts for members only. So that's very exciting, and we'll try and do them at times that will be good for everyone.
Was this in the meeting today? Because I did not hear about it.
He didn't know. This is just something that he's been talking about. I don't know when we're going to start doing that, but it's just another perk that you get. Sebastian LaRoche, the gentleman with the best name ever, has retracted his message, and I'm sad. I want to know what you had to say. Jesse says their camera overheated and died, then they came back as pale ghosts. Yeah. Ooh, subscribe!
Just some pale girlies.
Love that Goob made the banner. Do you know what's really sad is that last week the energies were low The lighting was low. The vibes were low. Yeah. But it was Goob's birthday. We wanted to celebrate.
Goob's 10th birthday.
We didn't really get to celebrate it that well, so that was very sad. But there we go. It's 2:32 a.m. in Australia. Roger, go to bed.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Aren't you...
Your sleep is far more important than us chatting.
Do you do shift work, Roger? Do I remember that rightly? No. Is there something like that?
We're getting really personal.
Is there something like that?
That may explain. But yes, that's why we want to do our Giga stream day, because then we can actually
Giga stream.
Stream at a time that's not horrifically unsociable for you. Yeah. Go to bed. Samuel says, hello, second time catching the stream. Yes, sir. 5:34 p.m. in the UK. Yes, it's the same time for us.
Because we're in the UK.
Because we're also in the UK. For everyone who asks, I find it very funny that people don't know. We get a lot of questions asking us where we are in the world.
Yeah.
And so many people think that we're in America, and I find that very funny because we couldn't have more posh Southern Surrey English accents.
We are the most generic English.
We have the most generic. We have like Dan is not on fire, like amazing Phil English accents. Like that kind of English.
In America, they asked.
She's from the same place as Dan is not on fire. She has the same voice. You are, yes.
He's from Reading.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Mad.
His old like vlogs used to
so
be
much,
in Reading.
So much
crazy.
Talent coming out of Reading. They have Kate Winslet as well.
Oh my, really?
And also Ricky Gervais.
Oh, look at the lineup.
Look at us go.
Best approach to the sword technique for the double bass. Yes, I think
we got to those questions.
Yes, book a coaching call about that one. Justin Wright says, what do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear. Oh, it doesn't. I tried. There was a punchline there, but it didn't really work. NP says, I've never actually learned how to play, but was able to play for 5 years with several bands in the 90s.
Nice.
Sounds like you were able to play pretty damn good, if that's the case. I'm very impressed with your skills. Just wondering, what is the hardest rudiment you have ever learned?
It might have been a rough, which I know you know what that is immediately, obviously.
I thought you were just describing the rudiment as rough.
Well, no, it was that, yeah. A rough is just basically right, left, which, funny. But it's quite fast. Da-da-da-da.
Emma likes to show off that she's very good at rudiments. It's very annoying.
Also, pataflarflars. Pataflarflars. I actually need to remember. I don't use them because they are not practical whatsoever. I think it's like... But there's two flams after each other, and it's just like, why is this a thing?
The only rudiment that I can somewhat do is a paradiddle, and that's because I have a migraine condition, and when I have a migraine, sometimes it helps to pat myself on the head to release pressure. Who knows why that makes sense? So I'll just sit and I'll just pat paradiddles on my head.
That's so cute. I mean, you actually know 4 rudiments.
Oh, do I?
Yes. Well, you filmed a video in Drumsticks teaching people how to do it. Flams.
Oh, is that a rudiment?
Yeah.
Is a flam a rudiment?
Yeah.
Is that how you would just... Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Guys, even I'm learning things from Emma. Real
and
time.
Also, you can do single strokes and doubles because paradiddles are just single, double, single, double.
That's true. That's something else, is that when we're filming next week... Oh, I saw on Instagrams, do you like Bring Me the Horizon? Yes, I do.
You do. Berlin.
Some of the questions. I can't think today. I'm a million miles an hour. Some of the videos we're thinking of filming just to change it up a little bit, so it's not just a 50th video of Emma teaching how to play the most basic of things. She would teach me the basic of things. Teach them to me, and then you can watch me be terrible at drums.
Also, speaking of which, please, if you, mostly YouTube, I apologise, if you want to get your video pitch in, please
go to YouTube and put it in the chat.
But let me know what video shorts you want, because by God, I've been doing this for 4 years now. I don't want to teach you how to play flams again. Chris wants me to. Don't make me, please.
Joji the first says, Chris is very nice. We chatted for like an hour. Yes, the free coaching calls are supposed to be 30 minutes, but we have to allocate an hour Otherwise, because Chris is just a talker.
Yeah.
And he will become best friends with everyone. So if you want a new bestie who's good at drums, book a coaching call. That's the real reason to do it. Jessie says, gain staging is important. I have the module at half volume as well as the amp. Smart.
Big
man.
brain smart.
I also use the HPF that cuts the sub bass for safety. Safety first, everyone. Very, very good. Well done.
Yeah, don't go blowing up anything either.
Joji says, my wife will both agree and disagree on that one. I feel like I'm so far behind in the chat.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
I'm so sorry. Unpaid spokesperson, absolutely. Opening the window helped the white balance, more colour on your faces. Yeah, I think we look a little bit less undead now, which is
the only reason I don't use it for the other one is because it overshoots.
It's too much.
And it then just overexposes us.
Right, I think we're catching up.
There we go.
Yes, please subscribe and help those poor unfortunate ladies afford a not a potato camera. Yes,
please! Oh my god, please.
We would love to get a better setup for streaming.
I'd love to get a better setup in general.
It's honestly, it's embarrassing that our stream setup is as lower. I mean, it's not terrible, but it could be a lot better.
It's almost.
We're very good friends with the lovely Mr. Gregors over on Twitch,
yes,
and he is a very experienced Twitch streamer, and his setup is insane to the point where he has about 50 million cameras.
Oh, he has
that you can choose which camera you want to watch.
It's amazing.
And when we did some streams with him a couple months ago, I got to be in the control room choosing what cameras, and it was such good fun.
Well, you should be able to go and watch that stream if we.
I think so. You can go back and watch it. But yes, I wish
thumbnail.
that we could do something like that, but we're just in Emma's living room instead.
Welcome to my living room.
So please become a YouTube member so we can build a nice studio and have some actual cameras instead of a webcam. Right, what are we saying? Donna says, I like the 10-minute workout. I think Chris may be trying to trick us into practicing.
God forbid.
It's not a trick.
No.
It's for your own good.
Mm-hmm.
He wants you to be able to good at drumming. Also, that makes me think of the practice plan toolkit book that we released a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Because it's such a... We thought, let's make this a book that you can download outside of the weekly free ebooks because it feels incredibly useful. So if you do want to be able to download that, I could probably give you the link in the chat right now. Practice plan toolkit. If you are... Is that going to come up? I don't know. No. If it is. 1 second. LoveToLearnDrums.com. Practice plan... There we go. Practice plan toolkit. So many URLs. Practice plan toolkit. If you want a free ebook that basically links out to 1 million of our other free ebooks in the YouTube chat to those on Instagram, I've just posted a link where you can download that ebook for free, and it's very, very good. It's very useful and it has a template and it's printable pages as well. What have we got going on? Goob is the channel mascot. He certainly is. He's fat and fluffy and I love him to death. Emma's just trying to see how much stuff she can put on her head.
I'm having a great time.
Emma's gone mad. It's now going to become the Sounds Like Ilona channel because Emma's got to go to bed. That's what's happening here. Joji says, I love Drag Race UK and learning all about the accents. We have so many accents. Like, I know America has a lot of accents, but you think that you could fit England into one state in America, and yet the diversity in accents in this one country. You drive an hour from one city to another, people sound completely different. This is the webcam that died on us. Everyone boo the webcam that died on us.
Boo.
Boo.
You know what would be funny is if I can plug this in and turn this into the second webcam.
And then you can all see what we're seeing, which is just us. We're just reviewing what we look like.
Yeah.
Hebcam, and then you can just film yourself drumming, but from a POV camera. Paul Jefferson says, from India, wonderful lessons, keep going. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm glad you enjoy the videos. Harvey Lee says, thank you for all your advice. Ram R says, hi.
Hi.
Jessie says, it would be a fun video series of watching Emma learn double bass. Watching a teacher learn is always good for everyone. Emma has been saying that she wants to do this for quite a while, so we should definitely do this.
If people want to at certain double bass companies.
Yes.
Pedal companies,
with
talk
Ryan.
to me.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I think he said he wouldn't want to... He feels like his technique isn't good enough.
I feel like every drummer is so critical of themselves. Give yourself some more love, guys.
Yeah.
Honestly. What is this? Let's see. Alan Keith says, I'm 68 and a self-taught drummer of 3 years with Emma's great assistance. Is it better to learn other drummers' fills or make up your own fills? Thank you all so much. A little bit of column A and a little bit of column B,
yes.
Alan, is what I would say.
Yep.
Learn other people's and then use what you've learned to make your own. Boom. Done. Best of both worlds.
It means you can start to put your own variations on other people's fills, basically. Use it for inspiration.
Roger says, what's the best way to send in videos for your advice? Let me get the link up for you, sweetheart. Right, where is it?
Sweetie pie.
Submit your drumming. There you go.
I was going to say, we should probably start, I think maybe... the next time we have a live stream here, let's start watching through people's
Yes, we will.
videos.
We had a lot of submissions, so sorry, it might take a little while to get through to them. But we're working through them slowly but surely.
A full calendar year.
We've got another video that just needs editing. I say just needs editing. Just the crying sound.
Lads, I'm at the brink. I can't.
She says she's a full-time drummer. She spends the majority of her time
I'm a full-time editor.
She's a full-time video editor who does some drumming.
I film these videos for 5 minutes and it
spends 3 years
a year to come out. Yeah.
But yes, and if you submit to the form that I've just linked in the YouTube chat, you will go into our well of submissions, and we will be reacting to some on live streams, and we'll be reacting to some in videos and giving feedback and stuff like that. Joara D. King, author of 7 books. I remember you from last week.
Author of 7
go
books.
Another hour. Shall I go another hour? Is this a face that looks like she wants to go another hour? She wants to play Satisfactory. That's what she wants to do.
I don't know what I want. The last few evenings, I've just been kind of staring at a wall and just going,
It's alright, guys. I'll go for another hour and I'll stream Oblivion remastered. That's what we'll do. My question may have been cut off. I wrote that I have a gig in August, and after 25 years of not playing, I'm having difficulty with my kick foot. Please help.
It's very hard to... I love this. I can't answer your question without seeing your foot.
It's a Q&A live stream.
I'd say if you haven't watched the video about my kick technique stuff, watch that. It's on YouTube, literally, if you type in Love to Learn Drums kick technique. That's the most in-depth advice I can give. Honestly, it's probably just been from lack of playing for years. So be nice to yourself, and just make sure your technique is right. That's the big one. But you can people just book themselves in for lessons with our teachers, or they have to join the membership?
Yes, you do need to join the membership if you want to have a lesson. But I would recommend joining the waiting list for a free coaching call, because sometimes the membership might not be what's right for you, and you need something a bit different. You might prefer to do the crash course, which is a month of intensive learning.
That might be better.
It might be better if you just have a specific thing, a hurdle that you're trying to get over, and you don't want long-term lessons, but you just really need a push over a specific thing. The crash course would be far more ideal.
If you don't know what the crash course is, by the way, it's just a month long of intensive lessons, either 1 or 2 a week. It's up to you, and
lots of practice, and you get a detailed practice plan, so you know exactly what to do, and all of this stuff. So that you can also ask about in the coaching call. Emma just silently adding to her food super fancy.
I haven't added anything for a little bit. I don't know what else I can balance on here. Straight down the middle. It'll fall out.
Oh fuck! Oh no!
Now.
Emma's clearly lost it. This is a very good representation of Emma's mental state after spending the last week furiously editing before we go to Berlin.
No, the last 4 years furiously editing. I'm losing it. Whoa.
Baran is a lion has donated. I don't know what currency that is. Hold on 1 second.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's so kind.
Hang
I
on.
wish that the party things worked.
Give me a party thing. I have a different screen for this, and it's
Oh,
worse.
do you actually? That's new for me.
Thank you very much. Similar to the other one.
Donation. Thank you. I like the coins. The incredibly
really
low
badly done
quality.
It's all like a fine that fit the bill, right?
Let me go back to the chat. Ooh.
Thank you so much.
Jessie says I have to figure out how to film myself playing so I can share my progress.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. Yes, I will honestly just a camera just on your kit. You'd be surprised that just one camera would probably just be enough to get you started if you want to film yourself. It's something that's really good as well with when you are practicing and you want to try and keep an awareness. You know, this is something that I commented on when we did the series where Emma taught me drums, is it can be really hard to be aware of how much progress you're making when you're, you know, obviously you are in it every day incrementally. Seeing it, watching back a video of you playing, even for me, I was watching back videos of me playing 4 weeks ago and I went from being like, I can't hit anything, and then suddenly being able to play a whole song. Yeah. So you might really shock yourself in how much progress you make by just recording yourself and just keeping like a diary. This is something else that is available to you when you do the crash course. You don't have to use it, but we provide you like a digital diary that you can check in with every day and submit video evidence, because it means you stay more accountable because you have to film yourself.
You also, the bigger part is you see your progress.
Yeah, and you'll see your progress and you'll be like, wow, look at me, look how far I've come. So it's more of a personal thing of keeping you checked in with that. Jawara wants to hear you slap the bass. Is there a bass?
I'm attached to the desk.
She is locked in because she has attached things to her head now, so I don't know if we can change, unfortunately.
This is an accessory that I just simply can't do without.
Baron is a Lion says, I appreciate your video editing a whole lot, Emma.
Thank you.
It's very good, considering
That's why we can't find anyone else to do it.
She's just too good.
Oh, God. We're starting now to have Mark. I've just brought on my cousin to do it. We've got obviously Sean.
Anyone we know who has a semblance of video editing experience, we're like, please.
The problem is that we still haven't found another editor who can really commit to doing what I refer to as the zhuzhing. The je ne sais quoi. The extra something, the comedy into it. The notation people can deal with a bit more, so that's slightly easier to find. That's learnable. Whereas you need comedic timing and certain meme awareness that isn't too old meme awareness to be able to do. It's just a whole thing. And
it's a very specific cocktail, isn't it?
Yeah.
Justin Wright says, what do we need to do with the videos we send? So if you want to submit a video to get some feedback on your drumming, it's literally just a video of you drumming. Whatever you want to get feedback on, whatever you're struggling with, try to avoid copyrighted music, because it obviously does put us in the shiz if we do that. But we can try and edit it out.
If you want more accurate commentary on your playing, then do it to a click. If you can't cope with playing to a click, that's fine. But if you can play to a click, do that. Because it just means I get a better gauge on your timing. More in depth anyway.
Jesse asks, how about a video about writing or playing drums within the context of a band or pre-existing guitar riff? I think that's a great suggestion.
I feel like a student of mine asked me about something similar.
Because ultimately, you're drumming because you want to be in a band, right? You want to play songs with other people.
Actually, I've just had a great idea. Fantastic idea. If people send in their songs to me, I'll write the part for the drums on it.
Or don't you want them to write the part?
No. As in, I'll film videos of me coming up with the drum part and explain why I'm doing what I'm doing.
That's a cool idea.
And then as long as I'm not mucking who's editing it, I'll do it. I think also I need to write that idea down. That was a good idea.
I'm trying to think, because we have questions. I'm trying to think.
Me writing people's drum parts.
We have a submission for if you have like a question. We want to try and do a thing where basically we get people to submit videos of them asking their drum question in front of a drum kit, and then you can be included in the intro of like podcasts and stuff. But I have no idea what the URL for that is. I've completely forgotten. But yes. Aaron says, hey ladies, Aaron here all the way from Karnataka, the south of India. Started drumming recently and picked up fast, but really finding it hard to keep up with the lesser dominant hand. Can you give me some tips?
The Equalizer.
We have an ebook for you, my son. Don't you worry.
Also, I think if you literally type in Love to Learn Drums left hand on YouTube, you'll probably get quite a lot of videos of me talking about how I hacked my left hand a little bit. We also have a
Posting
course.
it in the chat, the link to the free ebook that we have.
Yeah.
It's called The Equalizer, and it will cover everything you need to know about.
Yeah,
balancing.
it goes along with the New Drummers Tool. With Left Hand Bootcamp, which is a
Yes.
course. But if you don't want any of that stuff, literally, basically mimic what your right hand does on a ride cymbal or something in the left hand at the same time, and see what's going on differently. So your grip, how it's bouncing differently, what's going on that's stopping your left from being as good as your right. It just helps highlight issues, basically. That's my main thing I do.
Lindsay Buffington says, "What
Great
is
name.
the best way?" I know, the strong names in the chat. I
Buffington.
love it.
Yeah.
What is the best way to count 7/4 time?
Carefully.
And try and minimise crying.
Yes.
If you can.
I mean, counting to 7 and not 8 nor 6 would also be recommended.
Stop being sarcastic.
Sorry.
Give a proper answer.
It's in my blood. I can't
No.
stop. Honestly, the way I learned to cope with weird time signatures is just find a groove that's in the right time signature and just play it over and over and over again. You see some people talking about, okay, count it as if it's a group of 4, then a group of 3, or a 3 and then a 4. That can work too, but I just sit and groove with it until it feels less weird, really. And when it comes to coming up with fills, give yourself a very allotted... This feels so silly with me having a webcam on my head. Giving serious
I love that we're
advice.
just allowing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, oh god.
The top of my head is cut
podcast.
off, so you wouldn't even know if I'd attached something to the top of my head.
But yeah, you can also just, if you're trying to learn fills in odd time, then just assign yourself a certain amount of beats that you are calling a drum fill, basically.
Still laughing.
So say you're in 7/4, you've got 4 quarter notes of normal, and then you've got 3 beats of fill, and just make that fill really simple until you feel really comfortable with it, and then start to make it more complicated, but keep it the same length.
What she said.
I'll stand by it. I said what I said.
MP says, "Thank you so much. I just started enjoying you and I look forward to learning. I will check out more of your videos and lessons. Love you both." Thank you so much. Ricardo says hello.
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 All right, bit sultry. Jeez.
Joe G says, "You make my Fridays at work so much better." You are welcome. It makes our Fridays good. No, there's people who actually want to hang out.
I get
with
to
us.
see you in person.
That's
actually,
true.
even though we live down the street from
I
you.
know. Arpit says, "Do you think gear matters? I know it mostly said that it doesn't really matter, but what about stuff like pedals and other hardware?" I think to a degree it does, but beyond a certain point it doesn't.
Classic answer of it kind of depends.
Yeah.
Really. It depends what you want to be doing. If it's equipment that therefore is detrimenting your playing even though your technique is good, yes.
Yeah, which is what I found when I was learning drums, is that I thought
your
I was
pedal's
really
duff.
rubbish at opening hi-hats, and it turned out the pedal was just a bit broken.
Yeah, stiff. Yeah.
And then we changed the pedal and it was miraculously I became way better.
A drum god overnight.
Yeah.
But don't spend crazy money.
But
You
don't spend
need
it. Yeah,
to.
exactly. There's a point where no matter how much money you spend,
It's about the technique.
you are
Don't have
producing
the
sound, not
midlife
thing.
crisis gear acquisition syndrome moment.
Joe G says, "I can edit on VSP." I don't know what VSP means. Oh, Final Cut Pro.
Oh, right. Fortunately for you, don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, we actually just use CapCut.
all day, every
But send us an
day.
email, Joe. Right.
Hit us up. Do you know what the email is? Do they know what the email is?
I will put it in the chat now.
Hit us up.
alpinehq@com. There we go. Jesse says, "Emma has become part of the machine now. Ilona will have to reboot her after the stream." Guys, I have a secret to tell you. Emma's not a person.
I'm actually
an
AI generated.
She's
Yes.
an AI model
Yes.
that we
actually I have
to play the
15
drums.
fingers, all on one hand.
That's why she's such a good drummer. She actually has extra arms that are just invisible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We've got someone. They explained how to pronounce their name last week, and I cannot remember. Do you remember?
Oh God.
Pouvre.
Isn't it Lena
Is it Lena?
No.
It definitely wasn't
It was
Lime.
something really simple.
It was something really obvious after the fact, and I have completely forgotten it. I'm so sorry. But they love the cam helmet.
Thank you. It might stay, to be honest.
It might stay. Excellent idea, snagging that one for sure. As long as it goes back to 1.
Lynn!
Lynn, that was it. I'm so sorry. I've just never seen that name, your name spelt that way before. It's just, I need to write that down. Just Lynn. I'm so sorry. See, even Jessie remembered.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed. I'm genuinely so sorry. Question out of curiosity says, Lynn, do you play the kick drum whilst burying the beater, or do you let it bounce back? A very good question, Lynn.
I think I bury it in most circumstances, unless I'm doing like repeated bass drums, like do 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 do, and using the spring.
Hang on, you told me not to bury it when I was learning.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I think I do bury it. I don't actually know.
Oh, we're gonna have to delete the whole series and do it again.
No, but
she lied.
Actually, you want to have it come off the head just slightly so the drum can resonate correctly. But it's easier to achieve that with heel down and doing feather and bass drum.
Penalised for burying the beater, and I could have been doing it this whole time. NP says, do you think every drummer should know how to read, or can we be self-taught, go on without ever learning how to read? Sounds like another language to me when you talk numbers.
It's not the law, but
it will help you
kind
massively.
of like going through life not being able to read words. It's like you kind of want to do it.
Heavily inconvenient.
You can understand if you talk to people, you get it, you can articulate it yourself, but you can't write it down. Yeah. And you can't remember everything. And you can't, you know, it's just slows things down.
That when I was learning drums, the notation really helped, because for me it felt like subtitles. Yeah. So I found it incredibly helpful, and I would actually say you should do it. Jessie says, to bury or not to bury, that is the question. Is it nobler to bury the bass pedal into the head, or to bounce back once more?
Once more. I mean, Sitham, cool new GoPro. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Lynn, I am really sorry. It's the French version. See, I should know this because I am French.
Woman.
My name is French. I get annoyed when people say my name wrong.
Which they do.
All the time, constantly. So, you know what? This is payback. I
think I should just call you Ilona forever.
No. I've had a lot of people. Lynn, I would like to know. I'm assuming you get a lot of people accidentally mispronouncing your name. I get a lot of people mispronouncing my name, but yours. I feel like if you didn't know that it was pronounced Lynn, you can understand why people come to the conclusion that it would be Line. Yes. With me, people add letters and take letters away. And they're like, oh, it's this, right? And I'm like, are you not reading? Are we reading the same word?
What's the weirdest one you've ever had?
I get Leona, which is just categorically not my name. Like, it's spelt completely differently. I get that they're similar names, but I had someone at school who would be like, oh, Leona Lewis. And I was like, okay, she's also a singer and gorgeous. I don't really know how much of a cuss this is.
What is this?
Okay.
See, this is why my parents called me Emma, because you can't spin Emma to be anything, apart from if you just run down the alphabet and you just put a different letter in front of it. Which is what the kid next to me in year 5 used to do. It just pissed me off. I've been called Spemmer my entire life.
I don't know. I've had some. I had one person who nicknamed me Aloha at an old job.
Aloha.
Because they thought they were really funny. And to be honest, I kind of allowed it because I was like, no one's ever actually gone for that one before.
That's a new one. That's
so
fresh.
I'm going to allow it because it's original. And that's fair enough. We have some questions on Instagram, so I feel bad that we've ignored.
Sorry,
Someone earlier did say that they really like your editing style.
Thank you so much.
I am keeping an eye on the questions on Instagram. The problem is that you are so far away.
That
it's actually quite hard to read.
If you want your questions more likely answered, then please
head over to YouTube.
However, we will be wrapping up soonish.
We'll give you a bit of extra time since we did have an interruption because our tech is just constantly dying on us.
What are you trying to say about my tech?
Lynn says, yes, of course, I work in an international tech company. It's often mispronounced.
Oh.
That's why usually I choose the nickname Lily, which is a no-brainer. That makes sense. Lily is a very nice name, to be fair. Lily is nice. There you go, Jessie. Friends are happening. We could just
Great
go,
minds.
and
Great minds.
people could just hang out in the chat without us. To be honest,
That's what I did with the Discord. Is I just let it go.
Just let it go, and there's just friendships
people
happening
just
in there.
doing their thing.
But yes, so right, last ditch. If you have an idea or a request for a podcast episode or a video short that you'd like Emma to do, say now or forever hold your peace until the next time we inevitably ask you this question. So please put it in the YouTube chat now. Yes. What's someone saying over here? Do you know of any distinct feels or play styles that Trey Cool often use?
No, I do not. I'll answer that straight up. No. Sorry.
If the question is about paradiddles, she can answer. If it's about a drummer or gear,
soz lads.
It's not happening, sadly. We've gone quiet in the chats. That will be our signal to go.
People are brewing, you see.
They're brewing, they're thinking.
We'll give
you some thinking time.
I'm half tempted to show the world what the list looks like currently of what I'm going to film.
If you want to.
I don't know.
Why not?
If I should. Where is it?
The ideas of videos that we've got to do, you're going to see our spreadsheet.
No, I think people need to just see how many videos I'm about to shoot. I think that is the question. Oh, God. 108 I'm currently up to.
Oh, my God.
Chris wants us to do 150, and that makes me want to cry.
You will do 150, or you have to live in the basement.
No, we'll keep it a secret.
I'd like to see how Emma figures out a new song.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think that's a really cool topic. That's something that we've not touched on as much on the channel, really. There's a lot of educational of how to play things, but writing your own is a whole other beast, and I think it would be really valuable to start touching on some of that.
Thinking how to do it.
Oh, it's Tale!
Hello!
How to play a kit that's not your own on a gig and there's no sound check beforehand. Oh, brother, have we been there? They're like, yes, so it's going to be a line check 2 seconds before you play. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And you're like...
Oh, and also, can you not adjust anything because the drummers before you don't want you to touch anything?
And also, this kit is being held together with duct tape.
Yes,
so if you
and
could,
a prayer.
And also, I know that we're a live music venue, but you're not allowed to make any noise.
Yeah.
So if you could just lightly tickle the drums instead of actually playing
if you
them,
could just whisper sweet nothings at this drum kit instead of actually playing it, that would be fantastic.
Also, this floor tom is upside down.
Oh yeah, yeah. And also, if you could play with hot rods on a with parts that require a lot of rebound, that'd be great
for a rock gig. That'd
for
be
a
amazing.
rock gig.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
If you want to watch the vlog of that gig, if you go to the Sounds Like Emma YouTube, yeah, it does exist. Go watch it there. I think it's the first vlog, so it will be. Oh God,
Hold on. It is a good vlog. It's we have a couple
more
of
my quip editing style.
we have a couple of vlogs from gigs that we've done. We've been very quiet with gigs and writing and stuff for a long time. If you didn't know, me and Emma are in a band together. I'm the singer. She's the drummer, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah. She hired me originally.
We've been in a band together since 2019. It's been a hot min. But we've been quite quiet recently because we've been trying to focus on building Love to Learn drums. So it's just we just not had the time.
We looked so fit in this video.
So let me get this vlog up for you because it is very entertaining. I don't know if I'm just biased because I find it really funny.
It's because it's you. What you love is videos of you, and you find them hilarious.
I'm so funny, guys. What can I say? Let's go up here. Justin says, "What about what they don't tell you about drumming longevity?" Ooh.
I feel like if it was what people didn't know, I would have told people. But also, I don't know if I can talk on it because
it's not been long enough.
No. I'm not really old yet, so it's hard to say.
You're an old soul. This is a 70-year-old woman.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
In a 26-year-old woman's body.
That's the gospel
She's
truth.
like, my back! I don't want to go outside.
What do you mean I don't want to go outside?
Oh, no, you do want to go outside, but only to go on nice walks.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
This is not a clubber.
Well, it depends on the music.
Sometimes.
Depends.
She likes a good bit of disco.
I don't like modern day club music.
I don't like modern day, the music that the kids are listening to.
No. Take me back to the discotheque.
Lynn says, open-handed fill for a short idea.
I'll write it down.
She's writing it down. She's
on
adding
it.
to the spreadsheet.
She's on it.
It's going in the spreadsheet.
It's going in the spread. 100 and,
Right, I'm watching her do it right now.
109. Open.
We need to get to 150, so we need to come up with 41 more video ideas, guys. No
I'm already
pressure, but
literally
5 minutes, and then we're gonna go.
I'm literally reciting an entire ebook, 50 something grooves.
Oh my gosh. Jessie says, did you hear any music over the past week that is new to you or stood out for some reason, maybe drum related?
No, drum related, not really.
Do you know what I think would be really interesting to cover? So I went to see the new movie Sinners yesterday or the day before. Fantastic movie, by the way. Highly recommend. It is about these two brothers in the Jim Crow era in Southern America. Well, not like South America, but like Texas. And they basically try and... But they're building a party venue, but just for... you know, not white people, because they're being very racist to them.
Fair enough.
And it's really interesting because there's a lot of basically vampires attack them. But it's all there's a lot of really interesting metaphors and stuff. But there's a massive focus in the movie about the blues and music and the culture around music, and there's this massive mashup scene where it mashes up a bunch of different genres, but all people of color genres, right? So there's some Asian influences and there's some African influences and there's this, that and the other, and it's really, really cool. The soundtrack for Sinners is absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend. And it would be really interesting to have a look at the drumming on a soundtrack like that, where the music is so integral to the story as well as the filmmaking itself.
That'd be cool.
It's fantastic. It's really
Vicky, I feel like would be the one to talk to about
That's true. That's true, because she's Tally says, how to play a kit that's not your own. Oh no, we already read that.
Well, we didn't answer it, but basically
yeah, we just moaned.
It's
Sorry,
rough.
Tally.
It's because it is rough.
What would you say when you're thrown into that situation? What are the things that you just straight away are right, I need to make sure this is...
You have to simplify parts as much as possible, basically. To the point where you're not worried as much about it, which is really hard when you've got a certain part in muscle memory. So that's why I often end up just improvising parts. As many drummers do. It's the blagging instrument. But does this mean you're gigging, Tally? Because if so... Very happy about that. You have such a nifty setup now as well. It's so cool.
For context, Tally is one of Emma's old students.
Yes. It's... You just have to make it so you still don't lose the essence of what you need to play.
Yeah.
You still do your job, which is holding time. It won't be as pleasant an experience, which is really annoying. And drums often get the short end of the stick as well. Because it's just such a lumpy instrument, and it's so easy for one part of it to be wrong and it ruins everything, like not having a hi-hat clutch, or the drum stool being too low, or the drum pedal, or the bass drum pedal not working. It ruins everything essentially. So it's tough, and that's why you want to bring your own breakables, which is cymbals, snare drum, stool if you can, bass drum pedal. Bring those, and that should save your bacon as best as possible. And pray for a nice sound person. They might be able to salvage something.
Baron is a line, says, a podcast theme I'd be interested in listening to is the pain of finding a place to practice. I think actually we will be doing something a little bit like that. We're going to be talking about how, advice on how to practice and forming bands and stuff like that. So we've got a podcast planned, so keep an eye out for that. NP says, so happy to have caught this live stream, looking forward to the next. I don't know 100% if we will be doing it next week, because the internet where we will be filming our podcast episodes is not very strong. I can only just about answer emails in one corner of one of the rooms.
Well, it might be a few weeks before I'm back anyway.
Emma is away again next week for a writing retreat with one of her other bands.
Which might be a good time to film how I come up with parts, but it's harder to do that on the fly when doing that. I think it's easier if we get people to send in their stuff and I can play over it. That might be better. I want to make it more inclusive to the community.
I mean, if you guys want, I could live stream.
I mean,
I'll just come hang out. I can't
see
answer
why
any
not.
questions about drums, but I mean, I would just chat.
if you want to find out about the inner workings and the
I'll
the
tell you all
emails you
about
have to
how I
deal with.
structured the folders on our Gmail, if you really want to know. That's what I care about every single day. Effie says, my kick foot never feels like it sits right. I have a good seat, a good pedal. Any ideas?
without seeing it, it's quite difficult. Because I would assume good pedal, good seat, you should be fine.
But if they're not in the right position, then that might not matter. So it might be worth... What would probably be useful to you is we have an online program called the Drum Setup Wizard, which is available as part of the membership.
Yes.
But shoot us an email.
But mostly that talks about heights. More than
that's what
anything.
I'm saying, is that if they've got like a good seat but they're not quite getting the right thing,
as long as the seat, top of your seat is about where the top of your knee is, that's a good height. That's the general what you need.
Gist.
Unless you're in England, we say if you're on the piss, if you're like off to one side, that might be causing it. If your bass drum is pointing off in a weird direction, but it shouldn't be. So
I would book a coaching call, for that one. Jessie says, as I'm learning, I'm paying more attention finding new things in older music this past week. Yes, it's a great band. Yeah, I agree. Yes, I really like...
Yes is a great band.
This is a great band.
Yeah.
There's one of their songs, Owner of a Lonely Heart, is...
That's the song.
The song.
Yeah.
I really like that song, one alone. Oh, hold on, my laptop is getting very... Oh, it's on 6%. Quick plug in.
Yeah.
I like to use that song as a reference for like speakers and headphones and stuff because there's just something about the mix that is so
perfect.
It's so crisp, but also like it does so many really cool things. Can you plug that in for me, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, we shan't be here for long.
I know, but still, my laptop's going to perish.
Why are you making the woman with a webcam on her head?
Yes, I am. I am making you do that.
But Roundabout is really good. There's a whole album that is just amazing. It might be the one that's got Owner of a Lonely Heart on it. That whole album is amazing. I mean, when I was on tour with Ariel, she showed me some Yes, and I was like, oh,
yeah, I love it.
Now.
Another artist I would recommend is Stephen Wilson. Me and Emma are big fans of Stephen Wilson. We had a big drive home from when we visited Mr. Greggles to do some live streams. It's like a 3-hour drive, and we basically binged Stephen Wilson's discography on the way home. Yeah. And we had to do action replays. We were in the car screaming our heads off like, oh my God.
There was one guitar solo, I can't remember the song, but it was Guthrie Govan on guitar, and it was just like,
it was so... We're driving, we're both like, this is a religious experience.
Ridiculous.
It was so good. Roger had to take off. I'm so sorry for missing you, Roger. Fair enough, it's like 3 a.m. for you, so you should probably go to bed.
70 years old on the inside. Camera-wielding cyborg on the outside. Yeah. I would just say Pratt on the outside. I think that's more...
Pratt on the inside and the outside. Yeah. Let's see. Justin says, how drumming helps or hurts mental health? I would say...
It helps.
It helps.
Unless you're really mean to yourself. In which case, that's uncovering some stuff you should probably go to
a therapist about it. Do you live in Berlin? No, we don't live in Berlin. Missing a Beat is filmed there, which is why I asked that. No, we are invited by the lovely people at Sound Service to come and film in their Zoom studio room.
We have a very exciting 6 a.m. flight.
Yes, no, we fly from the UK. But yes, I'll be having my first gig next month, says Tale, and just got that info.
Woo!
Exciting.
Hell
I promise you that you will have some gigs that don't put you in that position. But it's probably good to get used to gigs that do, because that means you're ready for anything. Yep.
As long as your technique's good, you'll be fine. Which it is, by the way.
Jessie is putting in work.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, everyone. Do it before the stream ends so you don't miss the next one, and become a member if you want to help get the camera off.
God damn, man! I
think we need to hire you, Jessie. You can join our things. Ghana says, I have a gig in 10 days and I need to improve my hand speed. What are your tips? Last question.
I have a gig in 10 days and I need to improve my hand speed. If we're talking about single strokes, maybe. It depends on what you need to get better at, but doing blasts, obviously not blast beats, single strokes. So YouTube video, love to learn drums. Obviously. How to
Just
get
assume
faster.
that's what she means.
How to play faster on drums. I think that is the one that you want.
I think I know exactly what video
the
you're talking
exercise.
about, yeah.
Because you end up doing...
We also have a podcast about this, actually, as well.
Yeah.
There's a video tutorial and a podcast.
Yeah.
Up to your ears in video. There you go.
Ain't that the truth?
That's the truth. Evie says that she's filled in the coaching call form. Thank you. Woo! Very nice. When we next have availability, we will contact you. You will be the first. Before we open up the coaching calls again, everyone on the waiting list will be contacted first. But yes, right. Let's wrap it up there. We're so sorry for the technical interruption.
Yes.
It wasn't quite as bad as the last one that we had.
Apologises. Sorry.
That's not actually on. She is just fully wearing that as a head accessory.
Oh, this is
for
just
some
my...
reason.
Yeah.
This is Emma's fashion sense.
I'm feeling very ADHD today.
Yeah, I can tell. Do you want to go for a walk to expel your energy?
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you so much for all the love, guys. Thank you for everyone who's joined our YouTube membership. We might not be able to stream for a couple of weeks, but we maybe try and do some odd ones peeled. Here and there. Yeah, maybe some more like spontaneous ones. Just so we can check in and say hello and stuff. But yeah, we do want to try and really commit to making these a weekly thing, if not multiple times a week. But this one's busy. Doing drum session
I haven't got
work.
a weekend till... Actually, no, it might be
Imagine
August.
doing her job. Boring.
Ew.
Don't like that. Lame.
Imagine trying to be an influencer.
Why
and
can't
a
you be
gigging
chronically
drummer.
online like me? Yay.
I feel like I am.
Oh, everyone's saying goodbye and have fun in Berlin. Thank you, guys.
We'll try and put stories up, actually.
Yeah, we'll try and put some stories up and we'll try and like vlog what we're doing and, try and be with you a little bit. What I might do is, because I'm kind of just an extra pair of helping hands when we're doing stuff there, I will be in some of the podcasts, but I'm the organizer.
You're on content duty.
I hold the passports and the all the plane tickets and all of that.
She knows who everyone's hand-holding partner
I
is.
know where everyone's going and what they're doing, and everyone just does what I say.
Yeah.
So what I might try and do is do some live streams maybe on like Instagram, and then like we can be on the phone,
we can ask
out.
people on stories what they want in terms of podcast ideas and also
exactly
shorts.
So we'll try and check in with you. So we're going to be gone for the whole of next week.
Maybe next.
Returning at the weekend, sleeping for the weekend.
You're
recovery.
sleeping.
And then she's immediately off to do more social work
the
whole week. So
yeah.
Yes, good luck with your 6 a.m. flight. Thank you.
Thoughts and prayers are needed, to be honest.
Because this is the thing with a 6 a.m. flight, you're not getting up at 6 a.m, are you? You're getting up at 4 a.m. and you're travelling to the airport and you're checking in. And
she's there already. Don't do this to yourself. You're suffering already. All right, on that note.
Bye-bye,
guys.
We will see you later.